The opinions expressed on this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect those of Cable 14, its sponsors, or its shareholders, Cogeco Cable, Shaw Cable, and Source Cable Limited.
Well, hello and welcome to this Monday, May the 15th edition of Crime Stoppers Connection. I am your host, Mike Fortune, and in following with the theme from yesterday with Mother's Day and breast cancer awareness, I continue to wear the pink, folks, so enjoy. Hope everyone had a wonderful Mother's Day, and we have a lot going on here in our local area and the Halton area too regarding Crime Stoppers. A big event is coming up, Tour de Tips. And of course, who do we bring in here? Our wonderful people from Crime Stoppers. So we are going to start with our panel. Of course, we have Debbie McGreal-Denning, Program Coordinator here for the Hamilton Crime Stoppers. Great to see you again, Deb.
Thank you, Mike. Great to see you too.
We also have Brian Brown, retired OPP Inspector, Investigator, and of course on the Crime Stoppers board. Great to see you again, my friend.
Thanks for inviting us. It's a pleasure to be here, Mike.
And Gary Gold, been on the Halton Regional Force now since early 80s, I understand, Gary. Great to see you, but you are also the mind and the person that spearheaded Tours de Tips. It sounds like a great event.
It is a wonderful event.
Well, we look forward to chatting with you a little bit more about it, but in the meantime, Debbie, why don't you take us through just one more time for our viewers, Crime Stoppers, the importance of it here in Hamilton, and then of course we'll get into some of those fundraising events.
Okay, Mike. Well, like you said, we've been on the show numerous times. We've talked to the community about Crime Stoppers. It is a community-based organization. It is completely nonprofit. We work in partnership with the police, but we are separate from the police. So in regards to our funding, like we've mentioned before, we rely heavily on either private sponsorships, business sponsorships, and of course our fundraising initiatives. So that's why we're here today to talk about one of our upcoming fundraising initiatives, and it's called Tour de Tips.
Yep.
Taking place June 24th, coming in the next month. So we're really excited about it. We'd like to give the community some information so they can get involved.
Well, you know what? And that's a great time to bring you in now, Gary. Talk to us a little bit about Tour de Tips and the whole idea behind it and how some money will be raised.
Sure. Tour de Tips started 6 years ago. Been the coordinator in Halton over the past 5.5 years, 6 years. And we wanted to come up with a unique event both to raise money and also awareness for Crime Stoppers. So that's where it started. It started as a 3-day ride, and we rode from Halton to Windsor. And over the years, it's evolved to where we are now, and we've decided this year it's just going to be a 1-day ride on June 24th. However, the cyclists will have the option of riding either 90 kilometers, 120 kilometers, or 160 kilometers.
Mm-hmm. And what one of those do you usually ride, Gary?
Well, this year I'm not sure. Hopefully I'll do the 120, but
okay.
Depending upon how I feel and how many times I get out riding, it might be just 90.
And we're seeing some clips and some photos there, Deb. I understand you participated last year. It was your first time.
Yes, I did.
They didn't beat you up too much. You're going to be back again, I understand?
I'm going to give it another shot. Last year, this is Hamilton's first year officially as part of Tour de Tips, with Halton, Peel, and Hamilton, of course. Last year, like you mentioned, I went out to try it out, see what it was all about. Ignorance is bliss, like I've said to Gary. I showed up on a mountain bike that I had borrowed from a fellow police officer and rode 100K in a day. I finished the ride. My knees were not happy, but it was an incredible experience, and looking forward to doing it this year, but on a proper bike.
It's quite the experience, as you just alluded to, and it looks like a lot of fun, great cardio workout. You're meeting a lot of people, but folks, I can tell you, I will not be taking part in the ride, but what I will take part in is the wine tasting afterwards. Great little way to kind of wrap it up for everyone to celebrate, isn't it, Gary?
It is, yeah. It's a great ride. Everybody enjoys himself. You don't have to be an elite cyclist. Anybody can participate. In fact, if you wanted to even shorten it up, you can start at part way through the ride. We do finish at Herndon Estates, which is just outside St. Catharines in Niagara, and it's a great way to just unwind and relax and meet some of the people that you may not have had an opportunity to speak with during the ride.
And Debbie, I understand that part of the Hamilton stop will include the fine folks down there at Hutch's down at, is it Van Wagner's, that Hutch's location?
That's the one.
And Chief Glenn DeCare will be on hand?
Yes, Chief Glenn DeCare is very supportive of this initiative and has said that he's going to try to come out that day and greet some of the cyclists that are coming through, and that's where the cyclists can get some water and a snack and have a little rest stop there. But it's a perfect spot down by the beach, and we're hoping for a beautiful day.
Brian, we're going to get to you in just a second. Gary, I want to quickly go back to you. What does it take for a team and or an individual to get involved? How do they register, and then how do they go about getting sponsorships?
Sure. The easiest way is just to get right on the website, which is www.tourtetips.com, and that gives all the registration information, and we'll put you in contact with the right people in your area.
For people that are doing this for the first time, what are some tips? What are some suggestions so they can get through? Because even the 90's got to be a long haul. What are some suggestions you can give to them?
Yeah, definitely get out and ride before. Try and get on the bike that you're going to be riding as opposed to a different bike, because you'll need to get set up properly. Get into a bike shop and make sure that the bike fits you and that you put some miles on that bike. And if you can include some hills, even though this route this year is fairly flat other than climbing up the escarpment. That's a bit of a struggle for some people. However, the majority of it's flat. But if you can incorporate some hills into your ride, get out and ride 40, 60 kilometers a week, you should be okay to make the 90 kilometers.
Fill up on the fluids the day before, put some carbs and protein in you, and I guess bring a little extra water and some granola bars with you as well, right?
We do, and we provide all that. About every 20 kilometers there's a rest stop, so you can get off your bike and stretch your legs. There's water, there's Gatorade, there's energy bars that are there, so we try and make it as comfortable for people as possible.
Now, Brian, what will your role be on this big day? Where will you be? Or are you going to be out on the bike doing the 160?
No, I'm not going to be on the bike doing the 160. I represent the board for the Crime Stoppers, and our main function is to raise the funds to keep Crime Stoppers going. And we're so appreciative of the services that are providing this ride. But in order to make it a success, we need people to sponsor the riders and to donate the money, because that's the only way we get our financial support to run Crime Stoppers is through our fundraisers.
You are a retired OPP inspector, as we mentioned off the top. You are on the board of directors here in Hamilton for Crime Stoppers. Every time I talk to you, it's such a thrill because you have such a passion for what Crime Stoppers is all about. And talk to us about the corporate support that Hamilton and Halton should really be doing here on the commercial side of things, so people can get involved, so we can continue Crime Stoppers here in Hamilton and beyond.
Well, Mike, as Debbie pointed out, all our funds are raised by fundraisers and from the business community. And people such as Source Cable, we thank them for sponsoring us. We're always looking for business to come in and help support us and to keep our funds on a regular basis. I'm pleased to say that we are starting to make inroads with the business community, and more businesses are starting to come on board with us. But without the support of the businesses in the community and the people of Hamilton, there would be no Crime Stoppers program. So we thank you for your support, and we hope that you'll keep going. And we have other events coming up, if I can mention them.
Please do.
Well, we just did a Shred It for personal papers on the weekend with Lime Ridge Mall and the Shred It Company. And we had quite a good turnout, and we're very thankful for Shred It coming to our aid and helping us to raise money. On June the 1st, we have a golf tournament at the Southbrook Golf and Country Club. If you would like to be a sponsor, please go on the website or contact the Crime Stoppers Administrative Office to put your name in. Many things are coming up, and we're so reliant on it. One big project that I'm just going to mention is in conjunction with the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Crime Stoppers will be selling tickets, vouchers for tickets for any of the home games, with the exception of the Labor Day Classic against those dreaded Argos. We'll have tickets on sale for $30, and that will give you a voucher for a $45 ticket. And this is going to be a major, major fundraiser for the Crime Stoppers Board, and we will be having more to say about that later on. But for all you football enthusiasts, remember this is the last year for the Old Ivor Wynne Stadium. Take your kids, your grandkids, and if you buy a reduced ticket from Crime Stoppers, you'll be helping the community too.
Certainly will. Deb, we're under less than a minute here, but very quickly, can you follow up maybe on what Brian said? Are you also feeling the sense that the community, the corporate community, is finally getting it and getting involved with Crime Stoppers is making sense for them?
I completely agree with Brian. It couldn't be further from the truth. I think with the support we're feeling in the last couple of months is incredible. I hope that the momentum continues. Like Brian mentioned, Source has been a great supporter that we've just signed on with. And like I said, with this Tour de Tips, we're reaching out to some of our local community businesses as well to support us in this initiative for our Hamilton's first involvement in the ride. But yeah, I only see it getting better. better. And without, like Brian said, without the Crime Stoppers program, the funding for it, the program would not exist, and we need it. We need it for that information coming in anonymously from our community when they do know that there's crime taking place and they want to keep their cities safe.
For Gary Gold, Brian Brown, and Debbie McGreal-Denning, I'm Mike Fortune. You have been watching Crime Stoppers Connection right here on Cable 14. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being part of our program, and to you viewers at home, thank you very much for tuning in. We'll see you next time, June the 11th, for Crime Stoppers Connection. Hamilton, take care.